Well, this may be a little too brutally honest, but if you notice, the voice last couple weeks went through summer difficulties, and I'm facing other physical as well as family issues. Don't want to exaggerate. So I'm debating a GoFundMe, not a big one, maybe just like a small emergency thing, just to recoup some things. Because I'm not joking. Just a couple of hours ago, a computer I was using, and it's not even that good. It was just stopped working. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster, but things are getting a little bit better. But then things happened, and that fits our subject with Miss Norris. I know people are annoyed when I try to do context, so I'll be very, very brief. Nora entered formally Scientology as an adult, but she did grow up, and you could argue she was being brainwashed, although she seems to be getting along fine with her mother. And there we are. She lost her father a few years ago, and that's a whole other twisted tale of contradictions. So she got out of Scientology in the early 2000s. Now, allegedly, she spoke out in 2012, before it was 2015. Anyway, so she's not exactly a great activist, but she has some stories to tell. So more recently, she fell into the Aaron Smith Levin cult, and she escaped that, is now more critical of Aaron, but she's been doing her latest videos on Render and a few other people who are technically second generation Scientologists, ex Scientologists. However, she's framing them as whatever, her enemies. And I'll say this, that the thumbnail is very misleading. So I was expecting a lot, and I do mean a lot on Claire Headley. She barely makes a cameo. So what do we get with Nora's 3 hour inquisition? Well, she banned me because I made one fact correct, and it was a fact correct, but she got really mad and angry. But there you are. And I was looking at other things, so I didn't know what she said about me. I did listen to most of the video. So what is it? Well, basically, and I am not exaggerating, and I guess it was technically a few documentaries, but basically it was really one main documentary she's responding to. So she went through a few articles and one big documentary. The guests were fine, like Jesse, Stacy. They do know what they're talking about, and they do have devastating information to share. Um, but that was really it. I mean, it was very strange live. I mean, really, if you don't like Nora, and I don't, and if you just wanted the essence of the thing, I can literally legitimately say, just watch the documentary. Just watch the original interviews with Jesse, and they're really good, right? Jesse talks to the anonymous people. He talks about his time with Miscavige, his own experience with the RPF, and Stacy's reaction, the Lisa McPherson case. Basically, you would have been better off just watch a good documentary with Jesse being interviewed and something on Lisa McPherson and some of the Stacy interviews, and that's about it. Because her commentary didn't even add very much, and she didn't even know things. Like she was trying to mock Rinder at one point because he was at a table with Miscavige and the other really big, powerful Scientologists at the time. She didn't even know their names. She's like, "Oh, he's that guy. I don't remember who that is." And that was just a lot of the video saying, "I really don't know that, but yeah, it's part of the conspiracy theory." So you're like, what was the thing? Even the main thesis is like was actually refuted. I'll give her that. Like she was playing one clip trying to again frame Rinder saying, "Why don't you ever apologize, Michael?" And Rinder literally did apologize to one of the people, John Sweeney. And Nora just mocked, "Oh, he absolutely apologized." Well, you just got it wrong. You were just making this weird conspiracy there. He never apologized. I think it's funny that Rinder never apologized. And she's literally playing footage where he apologizes in real time. So it was just a mess. It was just a mess. So I'll give her that. That even when she tries to do her propaganda, she's not very organized. So she's actually playing clips and little parts that completely refute her own harebrained conspiracy. So if you're patient, you're like, wait, this completely contradicts and refutes what you were saying. But there were two standout moments. One was laughable. One was more disturbing. So let's get to the laughable part. She paused her commentary to address an elephant in the room, and I don't even know what insane levels of cultism her fandom has jumped into, but Doug Scott Kramer was a very good ex-Scientologist / critic. I've done a few videos on Doug. I will do more. If you want what Doug did, just go to Dazed But Not Confused. Had a really good YouTube channel, has tons and tons of interviews and tons of videos, not just on Scientology, but many different cults. Anyway, Doug was very critical of Karen Delacare, who was a very powerful, quote, ex-Scientologist who works behind the scenes. And Nora defended Karen, saying, yeah, I think Doug was a little out of line. Karen is just a sweet mother. I will not be fighting Karen. I will not be exposing Karen. Karen and Jeff are just fine. Yeah. So she's screaming about Rinder, screaming about Claire, screaming about Amy, and those are all criminals that we need to put in jail. Get the FBI on the phone. But Karen Delacare, who, again, Doug went through this, as did others, including myself, she has ties. This is not mythic. This is not conspiracy. This is true. She brags about this. She has ties to national intelligence firms, the CIA. It even brags she's one of the biggest auditors and has one of the highest rankings, and knew Hubbard personally. She was married to the president of Scientology. And Nora's like, oh, there's nothing to expose here. I'm not going to say anything. She's fine. Like, what nutcase country are we in? And her chat was like, first of all, they were glad that I was being censored. Oh, yeah, they silenced me really well. And she's like, oh, Nora, this is amazing. You're promoting Doug. I love you. She's literally saying, yeah, I think Doug is wrong. Karen's okay. Alrighty then. And then it got even more weird because she's going through all these old interviews. But you'll notice something really shocking because she's talking about the Lisa McPherson case. Again, this is not speculation. It's not conspiracy. This is one of the most viewed videos on this subject because it's very pertinent. She completely misses the McLaurys. Now, I've already covered this. The McLaurys and Nora have, to put it mildly, really bad history. And to be fair to Nora, it's not just her, it's her family. Yeah, her whole family was attacking them. So, there we are. So she's telling us we need to go back to this archival footage and not believe this new narrative in mythologies and da 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 da. But magically, the McLaurys are just missing. She couldn't find any video clips of Mike. She couldn't find their blog. Somehow, they didn't help out with the Lisa, but they did help out. They spoke out. They contributed to the case legally. They physically put themselves in danger, and just somehow Nora just forgot about them. Well, we're not forgetting. So if you want some, again, I don't agree with all what they're saying, but these people are very well versed, way more well versed than Nora. And again, they do have partisan interpretations, but it is very serious work looking at the dark side of Scientology and the intelligence history. And this, again, is very insiderish because Mike was, yes, he was a literal spy. He goes through the stuff very brutally, day-to-day operations, how it really worked, et cetera, et cetera. And Nora tried to make it seem like, well, statute of limitations, we get rid of... No. Mike is free to speak about many things. There's no statute of limitations. So she's not even getting the basics right. So it was just a weird snake-like presentation. And I don't mean that just metaphorically. I mean, in both senses. One is that she's just a fat snake. She just is. She just portrays people. But others is it's literally like you're going on a straight path and we just veer V-like to avoid a big elephant because she doesn't want to talk about the McLaurys. And there we are. So, yeah, I'm just going to tell people, there really wasn't anything here. Unless you want to just see her time me out in real time. That was fun. And it was permanent because I went back like an hour or so later. I was still banned. So, okay. Alrighty then. That's the way it works now. You're allowed 2 critical comments and then she'll get rid of you. Alrighty then. So, yeah, you're better off just go to the McLaury channel, go to Jerry Armstrong's channel, go to the channel she was getting this stuff from, which is filled with documentaries. Yeah, just Google the documentaries. Just type in Jesse, type in the McLaurys, type in Jerry Armstrong. Go through those interview clips and go through those older documentaries. You'll learn a lot more. Certainly I did. So that's the only point I can give her because I literally learned only one small fact. Like Nora makes it seem like I or other people have not seen these things. No, I've seen that. I've seen Jesse. And sadly, I guess it's confirmed that Jesse likes her on Facebook. I really hope to God that's the extent of the relationship because really, like, she really didn't say anything or add anything. So yeah, you're better off just go to those documentaries, go to the McLaurin channel. Really, she didn't add anything. She just made a weird, twisty conspiracy theory and defended Karen. That's probably going to go down as one of the most ridiculous things in the universe. Also, her chat was like just, "Oh my God, Nora! Oh my God, you're so amazing." She's defending, quite literally, one of the most mysterious and questionable people to do quote whistleblowing in quote ex Scientology world, and she's just passing it off like, "Yeah, Karen's a good girl. Karen's just a suffering mother." Well, maybe that's true, but there's a lot more to her than that. So, yeah, very misleading presentation. But the documentaries were fine, the clips were fine, but her interpretation was just, besides being worthless, being very misleading, and that was her 3 hour path to nowhere. Yeah, I can't even say avoid it because you're angry with her. It just wasn't very informative. Just go to the original material. That's what I would say, and go to Doug's channel or the McLaurin channel. You're going to learn a lot more. Go to my channel. You'll learn a lot more than whatever she was up to.